Hi, everyone. I have a wonderful book to share with you tonight, and it's called Alexander and the Wind-Up Mouse, and it is by Leo Lionni. And the cool thing about this book is that it was written 50 years ago. 50. Wow. But it's a really cool book. All right. Here's the title page. Notice he has like a little hole for his house, and there's Alexander. He has a wonderful story. Help! Help! A mouse! There was a scream, then a crash. Cups, saucers, and spoons were flying in all directions. Alexander ran for his hole as fast as his little legs would carry him. All Alexander wanted was a few crumbs, and yet every time they saw him, they would scream for help or chase him with a broom. One day, when there was no one in the house, Alexander heard a squeak in Annie's room. He sneaked in, and what did he see? Another mouse, but not an ordinary mouse like him. Instead of legs, it had two little wheels, and on its back there was a key. "Who are you?" asked Alexander. I love the little, looks like candy or pinwheels on the bear's dress. "I am Willie the Wind-Up Mouse, Annie's favorite toy. They wind me to make me run around in circles, and they cuddle me, and at night I sleep on a soft white pillow between the doll and a woolly teddy bear. Everyone loves me." "Well, they don't care much for me," said Alexander sadly, but he was happy to have found a friend. "Let's go to the kitchen and look for crumbs," he said. "Oh, I can't," said Willie. "I can only move when they wind me. But I don't mind. Everybody loves me." Alexander, too, came to love Willie. He went to visit him whenever he could. He told him of his adventures with brooms, flying saucers, and mouse traps. Willie talked about the penguin, the woolly bear, and mostly about Annie. The two friends spent many happy hours together. But when he was alone, in the dark of his hideout, Alexander thought of Willie with envy. "Ah," he sighed, "why can't I be a wind-up mouse like Willie and be cuddled and loved?" One day, Willie told a strange story. "I've heard," he whispered mysteriously, "that in the garden, at the end of the pebble path, close to the blackberry bush, there lives a magic lizard who can change one animal into another." "Do you mean," said Alexander, "that he could change me into a wind-up mouse like you?" That very afternoon, Alexander went to the garden and ran to the end of the path. "Lizard, lizard," he whispered. And suddenly there stood before him, full of colors of flowers and butterflies, a large lizard. "Is it true that you could change me into a wind-up mouse?" asked Alexander in a quivering voice. "When the moon is round," said the lizard, "bring me a purple pebble." For days and days, Alexander searched the garden for the purple pebble. In vain, he found yellow pebbles and blue pebbles and green pebbles, but not one tiny purple pebble. At last, tired and hungry, he returned to the house. In a corner of the pantry, he saw a box full of old toys, and there, between blocks and broken dolls, was Willie. "What happened?" said Alexander, surprised. Willie told him a sad story. It had been Annie's birthday. There had been a party, and everyone had brought a gift. The next day, Willie sighed. Many of the old toys were dumped in this box. We will all be thrown away. Alexander was almost in tears. Poor Willie, he thought. But then suddenly something caught his eye. Could it really be? Yes, it was. It was a little purple pebble. All excited, he ran to the garden, the precious pebble tight in his arms. There was a full moon. Out of breath, Alexander stopped near the blackberry bush. "Lizard, lizard in the bush," he called quickly. The leaves rustled, and there stood Lizard. "The moon is round, the pebble found," said the lizard. "Who or what do you wish to be?" "I want to be." Alexander stopped. Then suddenly he said, "Lizard, lizard, could you change Willie into a mouse like me?" The lizard blinked. There was a blinding light, and then all was quiet. The purple pebble was gone. Alexander ran back to the house as fast as he could. I wonder what happened. The box was there, but alas, it was empty. Too late, he thought, and with a heavy heart, he went to his hole in the baseboard. Oh no. Something squeaked. Cautiously, Alexander moved closer to the hole. There was a mouse inside. "Who are you?" said Alexander, a little frightened. "My name is Willie," said the mouse. "Willie!" cried Alexander. The lizard did it." He hugged Willie, and then they ran down the garden path, and there they danced until dawn. So I just think that's such a sweet story, because here Alexander had found the purple pebble. He could have gotten any wish that he wanted, but instead of wishing something for himself, like, let's say, any toys or turning into that mouse on wheels, he was able to make his friend into a real mouse, Willie into a mouse. And now I think he got even more than if he would have changed into a toy mouse. He now had a friend for life to have fun with. I hope you enjoyed this story. And here on this little front of the book, there is it's like a medal, and it says Caldecott Honor Book. Now, Caldecott Award is an award for a book that a group of people decide that this book should win a medal. And so this is a Caldecott Honor Book. So how cool is that? That this has won a story. And I think it kind of teaches us a cool lesson to sometimes think of others above ourselves. And yet, when we do that, we will get such a blessing. I hope you've enjoyed my book today.